Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm here with Diana, scenographer, Diana Uribe. She's a scenographer and interior designer. She has graduated in 2011 from the National Theatre School. I'm speaking from Montreal. Hello, Diana.
Hi, Ari. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm talking to you from Laval.
We're not very far, as you can see. Yeah, we're in the same time zone, at least. Yeah. And as I mentioned to you, so this is our chance to meet a set designer for the first time. And as I mentioned, the number one thing that we're going to do about A Doll's House, we're going to listen to Diana. Now, I'll share with you what are the instructions that Diana got from me at first. So all she had to do was actually reading the play, starting to enter the world of the play, and then begin with an image search, one that just sprang from whatever reactions she had from it. So I'm going to ask a few questions to her, and I'd love to start by just opening the table up to whatever first impressions you had, first reactions, what touched you in the play,
okay,
if you even liked it.
A Doll House, like if you read it, it has like it can be like really classical, but I think that is deeper than that. So when you open the reading and start, like it has all kinds of instructions of a door in the left, piano, and all the decorations and all the things that they want to see. But I think that maybe that's also who Nora is, like a little bit of her costumes and all the faces that she's putting to please the man in his life, and how he had get to transform her into his bird, his singing bird. And so it's a lot of oppression, I think, from her real and true self. And maybe that's where we would like to see on that set, like little hints of what she really is, but without opening completely to who Nora is in reality. And I think that we don't know, like we have those little pieces, but you need a second play to know who she is. Like one view from her point of view. Like this one, I think that is just this energy entrapped in this woman.
I see. So what you mean is it's kind of an opening. At the end of the play, maybe we open onto Nora, but we don't know. But she probably doesn't know either who she is, right? At that point.
Yes.
I see what you mean. There's the point of view is not from her. Yeah. So tell me this, and really we're having this conversation. Let's forget that every participant is listening and watching us, and let's just have our conversation.
Yes.
Did it speak to you? Did it speak to you in any way? Or you're like, oof, it's a boring play, it's an old play, I don't know.
I think that, like the first reading, it was like, oh my God, like seriously, another woman that is just accommodating, like transforming herself to please everyone else. And then, okay, like that was the first reading. I'm like, well, it's okay, like nothing crazy. Then when you go to the second layer of the play and you start discovering who she is, like she was a really strong woman, and she did it from the moment that she decided to ask for the money to save her husband's life.
Yeah.
And then I think that that's when she got into a virtual reality. So it's something like, it's like Nora is on this side and on this side. Like we have one that is the one that she decided to show
to the world,
to everyone, and the other one is her true self. That is the one that is fighting and trying to get coin by coin the money that she lent, and don't let anyone to see it. And then the same one that tries to hide this reality to her husband, because she has like really high expectations out of him, like he will be her savior. And I think that that's what it opened at the end. Like this man fell completely to her, like calling her the snake and the poison that it will corrupt her kids, and like we're just gonna keep pretending. Like for him it was a start pretending, for her it was like she will just keep pretending who she was to the whole society. But yes, like he will start now pretending that everything was okay, but then when he comes home everything is gonna be different, and you're gonna be in your corner, and we're gonna have our
It's interesting.
You're just there. for showing.
Mm-hmm. I like what you're saying, that he is the savior for her. It has a lot of religious connotation in a sense. Yeah,
Yes.
she's waiting for the miracle. Like it keeps, there are words that are used that really have to do with another illusion, maybe the illusion of religion, maybe the illusion, or with the spirituality as well. And placing the miracle and the savior in a place where they're not. But do you think a miracle happens in this play or not?
Yes, it did happen. She woke up finally.
Yes,
it did.
it does.
It did happen, the miracle. Like sometimes, like I don't know, like on this place, so much of the things that she's hiding, and you carry all that with you. Like, there's no way that she can become who she truly is.
And the lies, like the weight of all of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the lies, and one lie bring another one and another. She's just a weaving.
Yes.
Of lies, and
it's like, yeah, it's like, the bomb, the bomb that has a long stem, and then you put a lighter at the beginning of the cord of the rope, and then little by little it moves through the flame until
yes,
it's a little bit.
That's right. And it has beautiful images. Like there's one that I don't know, I come from a family of women that knit. My grandma used to be always knitting, and then my aunties, they all learned to knit. And I learned to knit when I was like 7 years old. Like the two, and see the process of things that start going. And sometimes like there's so many movies and so many short films that describe like this woman knitting and knitting. It's like a knit of showing everything that is on us, on this. And he even castrate her on that. Like, don't knit, it's ugly, the position and the things, like do the embroidery. So it's fine and delicate, and it's just like, oh my God, like he was castrating every part of her that was not perfect for her singing bird.
Yes.
And the tarantella, do it softly. So it gives, I feel like, on a space, if I try to talk about a space and pass all these feelings to that, like it's something that is oppressive.
Yeah.
But I see a window out. Like something like the entrance door, like they describe the whole, and everything happened on one entrance. Like they're all entered by that.
Yeah.
And they go out. And for me, that's kind of the bird canal. So I'm associating the whole play with a womb and the uterus and that bird canal that at the end it will give birth to the real Nora.
Yeah.
When she exits that.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
So that's some, and it's a lot of way to see it. Like you can see it contemporary, you can see it classical, you can see it period. Like it's maybe some social things don't apply to today. But the oppression is still be there.
So you think it's a relevant play still?
Yes.
I think it's worth to put it on stage today in very many ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something else. So there is Nora, but there are other 4 characters there.
Yes.
I'm kind of curious to know, in either in the play or in one of the characters or in something that the characters said, what really, it's 2 questions actually. The first question is, what upsets you? What really you go like, can't take this or can't take this character? And which character do you instead relate to the most amongst all of them?
Yes. Okay, there's oh my God, it's complicated. I think that I hated the moment of the Tarantel.
Tell me why.
Because he was like, I think that was a beautiful moment for her, that she's dancing and she's putting all the frightening that it was at that moment for her. Like she was putting everything in there. And he just kept telling her, stop, go softly, go with grace, go with, and it's impossible when you're in that rush you can't do it.
And why do you think he was doing that?
She wasn't green. She's like, he needed to control her.
Why?
I don't really know.
That's okay. That's okay.
But yeah, for me, that was the moment that it was just like, oh no.
You wanted to,
I can't.
to hit him, to break free, to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, no, like, you're not even.
This is great.
I don't know, like, it's so, the body has a language that he should have read that something was wrong with her at that moment.
He probably was reading it, I think. My thought in that is that he's probably scared of it. Yeah. So that's why he wants to control it and to try to shrink it as much as he can. Because it scares the hell out of him, probably. Yeah. That power, that strength that you spoke about.
Something that it goes like this and he's trying just to pull it.
To push it down.
No. That moment was bad.
Yeah.
Like, he should have felt it. I don't know.
Well.
Yes.
Yeah, indeed. And what about characters? Which ones speak to you? Which ones do not?
I think I will stay with the Mrs. Lynn.
Christine.
Like, I really like her. Yes.
Tell me more.
I think that she came, I don't know, like at the beginning you see her like a gray little figure. Like for me, she was like a tone of gray, like more on earth, center on earth, less flowy, more heavy.
Yeah.
But no, I don't, like, she spoke truly from the beginning. Like, she's telling Nora, talk to him.
Yeah.
Tell him, like, you won't know what he's thinking until you don't talk to him. So I think that that's something that speak, like you say, like, go. And also, like, I don't know if that's what she was looking from the beginning. Like at the end when she said, now I have why to live, I have a job to do, I have someone to take care of, I have a house, I have all these things that she was doing. So that it tells you, like, maybe from the beginning she was like trying to within her own things. But that was like a little hinge that I got at the end. But through the whole play, no, she was just there, like, steady. And
I think it's interesting to think that she didn't have all that plan in mind either. Because she, in fact, when she arrives, she doesn't know about Krogstad and Nora. No. She knows nothing. And then the guy just appears in the door, and she's upset. She was also upset. So I think it's interesting to see how I think every character doesn't know what's about to happen. And in fact, this is a way that I will want to talk with you about space. What else? What other character exists in this play that is not the human beings? What moves them? What else is there to move things along? Because I can't just think that as humans define our destiny just by shoving and pushing each other in ways because we act and therefore other people react. I believe that there is something more that is invisible.
Yeah. Yes.
And then moves us through in life in ways that we cannot often understand, in interconnections that we do not see, perhaps, or that we see much later, or so forth. Yeah.
I think that time is one character in there.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, and when I was talking about the bomb about to explode, it's really like we are at the end. It's on 3 days. It happens over 3 days, nothing more.
Yes.
It's really almost a unity of time with a couple of ellipses, but otherwise it's just moving on. And it's interesting when we skip what we skip. Yeah, so definitely time in itself. Time is destiny, if you want, or is this other thing that in life makes things happen or not happen, or happen in some ways that are unknown to us. Yeah. Great. Thank you, Dianita. This is very, very interesting as a beginning conversation. Do we want to, because we could speak, in this class, I told all the participants that this is, in a sense, truly a first encounter where we wouldn't start to really speak about space so much. Just a conversation.
No, I think.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, please go. Well, just to finish. You go ahead.
It's more like on a first meeting, it's really spontaneous. And I think that also I have some images, like my way of seeing the play is all visual, and I have to make sense to it. And not all of them are spaces. Like sometimes it's feelings.
Indeed.
That leave me.
Yeah.
And from that is a way to start building that space that we want to surround these characters with, or where we want them to inhabit and live and be and develop. So so this first encounter is more an spontaneous of more of impressions. Like for me, it's try to put those words into images, and then those images start building where we will see the after into.
And in a sense, it's a beginning where we start to put together our worlds.
Yes.
The way that we both reacted. And so I'd love to get into a next almost an exercise, but which is very natural, where I know you have images to show me, and then I have a few that I'd love to show to you. And the way that I'd love to do it is not commenting the images so much.
Okay.
But allowing each other to just
sounds good.
Relate, and then to say, oh, this one speaks to me, and then this is why, or this is what I feel about this. So would you like to?
I will share my screen so you can
perfect
have it, and yes. All right, let me just get to this. Here they are.
I can see them. Yeah. Wow. Don't go too fast, huh? Because I need a bit of time to look at them. First time I see these images as well. So yeah. Oof, they're very emotional. Eh? They really speak to me big time. Oof. They actually have a physical impact.
It's an emotion.
More than, it's so much. And right now it's so much sadness. But in me, that's what's coming up in me right now. And anger, a lot of anger.
And contain.
Yeah, which is a little bit what you were talking about when you spoke about the moment of the tarantella. The anger that you get into that moment of trying to shut her down. You can move to the next one. Yeah. Oof. Very emotional, everything for me. But yeah, that's great. I love the image of the woman in the Leonardo da Vinci circle. Oh, where does that come from?
Pinterest.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, you can move on.
They're all searching for a womb and maternal instinct. And liquids and fluids.
Yes. Oh, wow. I love this. These ones are starting for me to go towards a conversation about space.
Yes.
Architecturally, and so much. So much. Yeah. Oh my God, the little poupée dolls taken off. Skin, layers of skin, and great images, Diana, great images. That's why we work with designers. You can move on if you have more.
That's the last one. These are
okay. Wow, there is already so much into this. Like I know that we already understand each other in so many ways. I wonder if I should speak to the images that talk to me the most. Okay, starting from I'm going to talk about those that really resonate, and of course the first one. The first one with the tree that is also, of course, it makes me think about what you were saying, seeing the whole space as a uterus. And or an incubator, but I think a uterus, because the incubator is when you come out already and you're premature. I think she's, everything happens in the uterus, and she's gestating inside. She's the fetus growing inside, indeed. And I like the council of women that are above and around, that actually are, she's not alone. This is so touching and so important for me to remember that she's not a single woman that all of a sudden awakes. Like it's intergenerational. It's actually in the even in the horizontal dimension, she is supported by other souls and other women. This is a bit spiritual maybe, but it's very much the way that I see it. There is a connection that goes beyond just the figure of Nora herself.
Mm-hmm.
I love, of course, the doll down there, you know, the image that you have center and low. Yes. And what I love especially about this is the storm behind, is the electricity, the rain, and actually, to me, the background is inside her. Like what's happening in that storm, it's what's happening inside. And look, she looks still, but inside she's not still at all. And there is great expectations from the skies about to it is already opening up and raining and unleashing its fury in a sense. Yeah. The other two are beautiful images as well, which they speak to the play very, very concretely, very directly. Yeah. But it's those two that on this page are the ones that I relate to the most. If you go to the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, I have everything in here as well. But specifically something that I'll get to when we go also to the images that I want to show you is the bigger image that is in the background, which could be inside, you know, it's kind of inside the womb, but it's actually, it speaks to me of nature, of branches and trees and, you know, those bushes where the bushes of, I don't know, myrrh or berries. Then in winter you see them all like these, all intricated like this.
Yes.
Yeah, there's something really, really powerful to this, and the images of the woman as well. And I'll jump to the next one to just say how actually all of them, everything that you put on this page makes me feel like I want to jump to talk about space a bit more, what the house represent, the fact like the image of the pink walls, like walls specifically. Ibsen writes that the walls are in, of course, but it's the doors who are also so important for him. For me, it's the walls. Like everything that he writes in is symbolic in a space, but doors aside, entrance and exits, I mean, they go beyond entrance and exits, of course. But what interests me is really these two elements: walls that are stirred and solid, or apparently solid, and made by humans, versus the nature that is behind. Like that one, like with the two cypresses pushing up, but also the first one that is this house, which half of it seems like it's also a cocoon a little bit, eh? Like there is a how do you call it, like before it gets before the la chenille turns into a papillon. I have all French terms, sorry, but you know what I mean, the butterfly.
A cocoon.
Yes.
A cocoon.
Yeah, it is that. But it's like and something is at work. It's not just inside, but the actual thing is working, is building, is transforming, is moving the thing. Yeah. And what I like about the other image, the one with the concrete walls, is these different perspectives and the complication of the space. There are many spaces inside it. There is a clear line that is leading us out, and it's beautiful, through the golden staircase. And when she's not yet on that one, I love also the presence, the woman's presence, that she's not yet on that one. She has to get to the intersections to then see it. Like it's very interesting space, because wherever you are, you see a different space, completely different one. And one that it can seem completely closed off, like the one that for me is on the right, where she's looking at, if you want. And then others where it's open. And there is, what I love as well about this is that there is a lot of sky, although she's not seeing it, or she's not looking at it right now. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So, my dear scenographer, I think we need to do this play together for sure. So I'm getting excited.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. If you then can I show you a few images, because I'd like to do the same.
Yes,
I'd love to know how you react to some images that I'm giving you, and mine are going to be not in a beautiful placed ensemble, but it's just a bit one after the other. It's not so many anyway.
Okay.
Here we go. So we're going to start from here. And you can tell me when I can move on. Can I make it into full screen so you see just slightly bigger? Okay.
Good. Go ahead, the next one. I know this one.
Yep. I bet you do.
Yes. Next. Okay, you can keep going. Next one. Good. Yeah. Wow. Is that like a spider?
This is from Louise Bourgeois.
Yeah.
And she made a whole series of spiders. You know how the tarantella is from the tarantula. Yep. And I'll talk to you about this after. Well, this is small. I'm sorry, it's small, but actually it's a humongous sculpture. That this one is inside, but there are. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen them. Yeah.
She has the ones outdoors that are like, amazing.
Indeed. Yeah.
Yes.
This is another one of hers.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's great. Yeah. Wow.
And I think that was it.
Yeah.
Just like that. Well, yeah, you can respond to any one of them or say what speaks to you, what doesn't.
I think the first one, it has like the feeling of the burning inside. I love that one. Like they all have something. Like the first one is more of a feeling, like something that you want to discover and see. That's great. Then the spiders, like maybe the one that is on top of the cage. Yeah, that one. I don't know. It has like that oppressive, like the system that is oppressing. I don't know, the male system, the society, the world, like her own. I think that she oppressed herself. So like, yeah.
You know how this one is called the giant one that is outside? It's called Maman.
Maman.
It's about her mother. But when she speaks of it, she says that, her mama was, how do you say it? She was a sewer. Jesus. She used to coudre in French. Oh, help me out. And so she saw, and she was a hard worker, and she saw her mother like a good spider that.
Like a good spider.
Yeah. And yet it's so open for us to interpretation as well.
Yes.
But sorry, I'm cutting you. Go ahead.
No, but that's what spiders do. It's amazing, the work, like all that net, and whenever it breaks, they just keep building it and build it again. And their work is beautiful.
Indeed.
Yeah. But yes, like that.
It's both.
I think it's because of the legs and then the oppression that the body hears.
And in fact, what I like in the tree, you see in this one, it's like the legs come out of her, but it's almost, if you look at in the opposite way, it's almost as a metal rods that pierce her.
Yes, that's what I was seeing. I'm like, it's a spider, what it is. It's more like a pierce. And then you have another image, the one with the deck.
Which is very voodoo if you think about it a bit.
Yeah.
And then, then this one, it's interesting because the spider is inside, but gets outside too.
Yes.
You know, so you can see it as the oppressive force, but also not as the oppressed one. And for me, this one, when I go back to your image or your feelings about the tarantella, for me is Nora that is trying to get out, and she's bigger than the cage. She's bigger. She can't stay inside, and so her legs and everything have to come through. And maybe, you know, the net is Torvald trying to keep her in that chair that is inside, and it is so small. But she's not there anymore. There's no one on the chair anymore. She's like, there's something that's has revealed itself as a presence, as a strength, also as a wild nature.
Yes.
An animal nature. Yeah.
Yes. She had it, definitely. Like, she has, it is really complex, because you think of her like the victim, like she's oppressed and all these things, but when you see the doctor, when she's talking with the doctor, her name is
Dr. Rank,
Dr. Rank, when he's talking, like, she's really flirting and sensual. Like, I think that she gives with him, she feels comfortable enough to be
a little bit more of herself.
Who she is, like more herself.
Yeah.
Than what he does, and then she just take the posture of, I'm stray and I'm just like.
Yes.
So it is really interesting.
I really like what you're saying, that in fact, you know, even when she decided to borrow the money for the husband, she had that strength, or that, you know, that character of hers is already there. It's always, even in the sacrifices that she has made, there is a force behind it, character behind it, something that claims. Absolutely. I'm going to do you have anything else you want to comment on these images?
This one, like the piercing of that, you have it on one image, the one with the deck, and then the trees are piercing.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a space.
Yes.
And I like
exactly.
Yes, it's close.
Yeah.
But I will see it also as a really open space.
Yeah.
So
what I like about you tell me. Sorry.
So this one, it has that, like the same of the image that I have, that is all the concrete, and then you have a path that it takes you out of there, but it still be open. Like you get to imagine other things happening. Like I wouldn't see it like the piano, the sofa, like all these elements.
Yeah.
For me, it's more this kind, like the walls that enclose, but it's still like enough space to walk around.
Yeah. Indeed. And in this image specifically, what speaks to me a lot is, you know, in the sense that you see the holes where the trees come through.
Yes.
If I could see this image 100 years later, nature will be all over these walls or this house.
Yes.
And behind, the fact that there is water behind, like water is another element that for me is really present. But in the same, you know, as in the image that you showed me of the little girl inside the box.
Yes.
The water that comes down from the sky. It's I did not put any image here, but I have a lot of images of floods. So back to, if you want, back to this one. Yeah. The flood, the presence of water and what water means and represents. And it's, you know, water enters every crease, every place. It just cannot be stopped, but it can be slow and gentle, but at some point its force can destroy. It's a destructive force. And for me, it is present. Is as if, like, one thing that I love to play with in this play is playing with sound, like having a presence of water where you do not see water, but you hear it. You hear it a little bit constantly until something, hello Paloma, until something really breaks through and just, you know, and destroys the space, you know, in a sense. Oops, like that one. Yeah. And so forth. And
no, I don't know, like, yes, the water and the fluidity, but for me maybe it's a little bit thicker, that substance. and maybe something that start, like what you say, water goes everywhere. But like if I start imagining, I don't know, like a crazy setting or something, like it wouldn't be cool if it start like the floor has something. I don't know if it's sticky that we feel like the costumes become heavier if they're skirts and it just start building, or if it's oil that every time you touch and you see a new stain, like I don't know.
Yes. It's
like
what you're talking about. For me, is also that there is a transformation that happens in the space throughout the play, little by little. Yeah, absolutely. I would want to work on that. Listen, I'm going to stop sharing this. And I'm not even aware of the time right now, but you know, we could go on for a very long time.
Yes.
And we would, because this is just the beginning of a conversation, of a discussion. In the next meeting, we would start talking about, are we doing this period? Are we doing this contemporary? Are we doing this, etc., etc.? For me, like in the research that I made, I found out that it was so contemporary at the time of Ibsen that we'll have to make it contemporary for us. This is the way that I'd love to go about. You stopped, your image stopped for a second. Were you hearing me? Yeah. But I think also seeing...
I hear you.
They started works, also constructions near me. So this might be actually a good moment to maybe conclude. Also, I saw Paloma peeking through at the door. So she's probably telling us this is the time to stop here. And I just want to thank you so much. Even this first meeting, it's really exciting for me. Makes me dream about doing it for real, which means that we'll have to soon work together again.
Yes, and, it is a great play, like you say. It's contemporary. I think that it can be out of a timeline. Like it doesn't need to have a timeline. It can become just
a bit more universal. And agreed. Yeah. Okay.
It would be great.
I think we have a plan maybe here.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So Diana, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
You from everybody as well who's following this class. And I wish you a great end of the day and continuation.
Same to you.
Big kiss.